I want to direct my comments today in this video at those of you that are able to fit the parameters of the things that I'm going to tell you about. And it's a video about retiring early, not waiting until you're 65 because there's no guarantee you're going to get there anyway. My name is William Hutchison. I'm the owner of Armenia Columbia Realty for Expats.com. Our focus is on expats and the people that want to come to Armenia, Colombia. This video may only be relevant to a select few. There may be others that will think about the concept that I'm going to present to you in the video, but it's mainly directed at those that have the financial ability to retire early. Age is not a consideration. You may already be retired and are thinking about doing something different with your life. There are some qualifications, I guess you would call them, to be able to do what I'm about to present to you. I've touched on the process, the system, in a couple of other videos, but I want to expand on it today. And if you have any questions about what I'm about to present to you, please get a hold of me. You can do it by email, send me a message. I will phone you. There's no issue with that. What I think you need, you can do it for a little bit less, but I think you need home equity of 700,000. You're tired of the grind. You've maybe been going 30, 35 years. You've done what most of us have done. Got an education, went to work, maybe worked for the same company for 30 or 35 years. I didn't, but a lot of people do. The one big thing that you have to recognize, and I'm sure you all do, is you have to be able to cut the in-person ties. And by in-person, I mean you're in the same room, you're at the same table, those sorts of things. With today's technical advancements, Skype, WhatsApp, Zoom, the requirement to be in the same room, in my mind, is a little bit diminished, because you can have those same face-to-face conversations by using an audio-video program. The one thing you might not want to admit to is you have to become selfish. There's no question about that. You have to start thinking about me. It's probably a little bit foreign to most of us, because for most of our lives we've thought about others. But if you want to enjoy the rest of your life, whatever you have left, doing what you want to do, maybe you paint, maybe you do watercolors, maybe you play golf, maybe you like to fish. I listed a home yesterday that I'll tell you about later. The people have hiked all over South America. And that's their enjoyment now. And they aren't old. They're probably in their early 50s, still physically able to do the things that they want to do. On the financial side, if you have equity of 700,000, you can do it with 6, but I'm going to use 700. The home that I saw yesterday is in a beautiful place. I listed it. I shouldn't say I saw it. I listed it. It's for sale. It's close to the airport here in Armenia, where it's warm. Has a beautiful L-shaped pool, big lot, 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom, about 2,230 square meters, which is about 2,400 square feet. Has a nice office, a bungalow. Some people have, when you get to be retired, you have trouble with your knees. This is a single floor. You don't want stairs. In a beautiful, quiet, gated community close to the airport. It's overrun with birds. They have iguanas visit armadillos, um, guatine, that are a little friendly rodent about the size of a groundhog. And they also have no-tail beavers. And I had never heard of that until yesterday, but apparently they're not beavers that build dams, but they call them beavers. Apparently they dig. So that home, and I want to use it, fully furnished, is asking 325,000 US. Now, that's the asking price. Obviously, there's negotiation, but the home is very, very well priced, and there's not going to be a lot of movement from the sellers. With 700,000 equity, if you buy that for full price, let's say 325, you're going to have $375,000 left. My recommendation would be that you take 25,000 of that and set it aside. For the first year, if you are not retired now and drawing pension income, you're obviously going to have to cover your expenses. And without that set aside, you're not able to do it. That would leave you with 350,000. I just looked this morning at CD rates. One is 4.9. A lot of them are mid fours, 4.5, 6.7. Bank of Montreal is 5.1. So let's use them on 350,000. You're going to get 17,500 interest, which is more or less $1,500 a month. This house, all in, condo fee, gardener, pool maintenance, services, your food, and your annual taxes, runs $700 US a month. So with that 1,500 coming in, you have 800 of disposable income. The nice thing about this is you're not touching principal. So assuming that the rates stay the same, who knows if they're going to go up or down, but without touching principal, until you get retirement, you have $800 a month of disposable income. It's foreign to many people. They don't want to use their home equity. We're all conditioned to be homeowners, but there are economists out there, and I've read the articles, that can actually present a position that says that renting is better. This program, this plan, still maintains your home equity. It's just that it's been transferred from where you live now to Colombia. I've lived here for almost 13 years now. It'll be 13 years in October. 12 almost in October again in Armenia. And I cannot imagine that there's any better place to live. You may find the equal. You have the convenience here. I covered that off, I think, in my last video. You can be back to the United States in 3 hours, even if you have to land in Fort Lauderdale and have a 2-hour layover before you fly up to Seattle or Philadelphia or somewhere else. It's still only going to be 9 or 10 hours door to door. If you're in the Far East, and I don't know anything about it, Thailand, Philippines, those sorts of things, other than it's inexpensive there as well, then just the convenience of getting back if you need to get back, especially if you have family and friends back there, it's amazing. So there are some things that you need to consider. I don't want to push you into being selfish, but I think you have to start thinking a little bit along the me lines, and the fact that there's no guarantee that you're going to get to the retirement age anyway. My recommendation, you don't need to take it, but I really feel you're only here once. I don't know that you want to be on your deathbed, taking your last breath and saying, why didn't I do that? There's lots of other videos about Armenia, about Colombia. You don't need to take just my word for it. But I think it's something that you really have to consider. And if it suits you, take advantage of it. Yes, there's a language handicap, a language barrier. I came with 4 words when I came. I could, I had hello, goodbye, please, and thank you, and that was it. I remember going into restaurants and pointing to the photograph on the menu, and that's what I wanted to eat because I didn't know the words. But after 12 years, I'm not fluent, but I'm quite a ways past intermediate. I can deal with most conversations. In fact, it's just recently, maybe in the last year, that I haven't had trouble with people talking to me. As I went along, for example, on a newscast, when they were talking, I might understand 30%. But if I could see the words that were flashing across the screen, I could pick up 75 or 80% of it now. Now I can pick up 75 or 80 just in conversation and don't need the words anymore. So if you had a plan and it involved maybe coming here, which I recommend you do, and you rent for a while, maybe 6 months, if you put the plan in place, you can take enough Spanish lessons that you would get by. Even if you went just an hour a week, there's lots of free ones on the internet. Verb conjugations and those sorts of things. The one thing I have found here with Colombians, they're very friendly. And as long as you have the root right, you don't need the exact ending, the last three or four letters. If you have the root, for example, caminar is to walk. You may not have the perfect for he walks, but if you plug caminar in, they'll get the message, and there's no negative feedback because you haven't conjugated the verb properly. So give it some thought. I think you can do it with 600. Some of you are going to have 800 or 900, maybe a million, and it's a piece of cake if you're in that financial position. That's it for this video. As I said, if there's anything I can help you with financially, as far as a question you might have, let me know. I've got a pretty good handle on everything going on in Armenia as far as what it costs, and I'm only too happy to help you. My name is William Hutchison, Armenia, Colombia Realty for Expats. I live in paradise. You can too.